Hey everyone. So we're gonna get this video started by all these stacks of books around me, which is very heavy. Can you guess what we are gonna be talking about today? So I have all these stacks to share with y'all. I'm trying to get them back organized of what we are gonna be doing for the 2024-2025 homeschool year. Can y'all believe that? Oh my goodness. So I've got my notes here of what each of my kids are doing. And I'm excited to dive in and share all of this with you. So if you are new here, we are a large family. We have 11 children and 8 of them I am homeschooling. They are of school age. Our oldest graduated last year from our homeschool graduation and she is off to college. She is staying at home. She's staying local, which I'm thankful for. This is just the path that she decided to do. And so we are getting her ready to go off to college and ordering the books and getting the laptop and the schedule and all of that. It actually starts next Monday, which is just so hard for me to believe. So she is graduated and then we are adding a kindergartner this year. So I'm still homeschooling 8 kids. So the grades that we will be homeschooling this year is 12th grade, 11th grade, 9th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade. Oh, I really don't like to pinpoint grades for the younger kids. Roughly 3rd and 2nd grade and kindergarten. And then I also have 2 toddlers that will be in on the mix. So I mentioned grades because we do follow grade levels as far as like in our co-op. In our homeschool, I really try to do like a mastery approach as far as like, once they learn those skills. So we aren't like, if it takes them a couple of school years to catch on to reading or multiplication tables, that's perfectly fine. That's the point of homeschooling. So putting that out there. And I also do want to mention for what works for our family, last year, we actually did this a couple years ago as well. A few of our kids are in online tutoring. They have an online tutor. It's through Zoom. It works beautifully for us and it helps reinforce the areas that they need extra help with. Because I am homeschooling so many kids, that has been important to us to make sure that they receive the skills and the learning that they need to, and that has been beautiful, and we are continuing that this year as well, and I'm very thankful for it. Okay, so we're gonna dive in. The first thing that I want to share with y'all is morning time. I am super excited and inspired by adding a consistent morning time to our homeschool day. So we did this years ago and was very consistent with it. And then life happens, y'all. Life happens, whether it's a new baby and if they're an extra fussy baby. Not saying that this happened to me or anything. It did. But also just life has been a little bit harder over the last couple years, and I haven't been as consistent with our morning time as I wish that I was. I'm just being honest here. I think that we all kind of go through these ebbs and flows in these seasons. And this year, I just feel like the Lord brought this curriculum to me, and I'm so excited about it. And I think it's exactly what our family needs. So we will be starting our day with morning time. I got this curriculum. It is by Brighter Day Press. Morning time, 36 weeks of family discipleship and foundational learning. I shared a picture of this on Instagram, I think, and I think I briefly showed it in a YouTube video. I can't remember. And I had so many questions on it. So if you go to this website, brighterdaypress.com, she actually has other things available as well, like a unit study for Thanksgiving, and she has some beautiful cards like for teaching creation that I'm going to print off as well that we will be using. This is just found me at the right time and has encouraged me. A friend from our co-op, actually she's been a long-time friend before co-op, was getting rid of this, and I was like, oh, I'll take it. And I had it for about a year, and then I actually started like looking through it, and I was like, this is beautiful. So this is what we were doing this year. So the spine of this is it comes with a student copywork notebook, and it has scripture for them to copy. So they just do a little bit each day. And then there's a page that they can color in with colored pencil. So that is what the student copywork book is. So each of my kids will have one of those. And then this, I'm trying to find it, sorry. So term 1 is creation. So that's why I want to print off those creation cards that she has. It has a psalm for us to read. It goes over a hymn study. The first hymn that we'll be doing is This Is My Father's World. And then it goes through terms. So each month you have a read aloud that you do. And the first ones and then you also go over a composer as well. So a hymn, a composer. So the books that you are reading, I don't have one of them. It's called the Gospel Story Bible by Martin Machowski. I have ordered that. It is not here yet. If I remember, whenever I'm editing this, I will pop up a picture of what it looks like. Pictures help me to see exactly what a book looks like, just to make sure that I'm getting the right one. But I'm visual, in case y'all didn't know that. So we will be reading out of that storybook Bible, and then this book called Theology. It is Ancient Truths Ever New. I just think, and it is just beautiful as well. Theology of God. God always was and always will be. So this is just going to be something beautiful to add to the start of our homeschool day. So then the first read aloud that we are going to be doing within that is The Trumpet and the Swan. So she actually gives 2 book recommendations for like older kids, younger kids, and then another book recommendation. I think the other one was The Little House on the Prairie, and we have read that. So I thought that this would be a good option. We actually had the book, we just haven't read it yet. So we'll be reading The Trumpet and the Swan. And then she has like missionary stories, and the first one that she mentions she uses David Livingstone. So we will be reading that. And then this is the other book, The New City Catechism. So I think that this is just going to add a wonderful addition to our family. I have been inspired by Cindy Rawlings. I have shared her books in the past. Mere Motherhood. It is just a book like, I feel like I'm sitting down talking with a friend. She's real, she's honest, just about the journey of homeschooling her family. She has 9 kids. I have just loved it. So this is the other book that she has written, Morning Time, A Liturgy of Love. And I have been reading this. And again, this has just been inspiration for me and just creating that family unity and starting our day with that. So that will be our morning time. All right, so moving on to our other subjects. And my kids are playing in the living room, which is right there. So that's the extra noise that you're hearing. But it's real life around here, you know? I mean, my kids are there, they're playing, they're perfectly fine. I do have my older teenagers out there too, just to make sure things are manageable out there. Okay, so Drew is 5 and he is entering kindergarten. So once our kids turn 5 is whenever I have them sit down and do like a formal school with me. Because of the dynamics of having a big family, you know, homeschool has been a part of my little kids' daily routine. So they have seen this, you know, since the time that they were born. So all of my younger kids have always wanted to sit down and partake in our school time. So I've always had like a preschool or a toddler book or activities for them to do. I didn't necessarily like require it, like you need to sit down and you need to do this for the ages under 5. But once they're 5 is whenever, you know, it's time for kindergarten and to sit down with mom. So he's entering that time with me and we are super excited. So the first thing that I'm going to share with y'all, this is going to be my first time using the Good and the Beautiful math. Previously, we have used Christian Light Education math for the younger years, and I really do like that. And then once they're in 3rd grade and up, we use teaching textbooks. So starting out, I was like, you know what, let's try something different. I have heard great things about the Good and the Beautiful math, so we will be starting that this year with a few of my other kids that I will share with you. So Drew's entering kindergarten. The kindergarten math with the Good and the Beautiful. And it comes with the learning manipulatives as well, and a little mini dry erase board, which I wonder if there's a marker in here. Seems like they think of everything. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, that's garbage. It's like that. Whatever those things are called. So I can take that out. So that's fine. I was just curious if there was a marker in there. Anyways, side note, there's no marker there. All right, so that is what Drew will be doing for math. Then we are going to be doing master books, Simply K. And I got his Foundation Phonics book as well. So we will be doing both of these together. move that to the side. And then I also saw this, and I just thought that it was nice. This is a kindergarten favorites. It is a comprehensive guide. It's by Veritas Press. I was trying to see where it was from. And it is basically a guide of some good books to read with your kids. And then it kind of has like a worksheet and color sheets and a craft to go along with it. So like for reading Biscuit, here's a Biscuit picture that you can copy, they can color, and then you turn it into a paper bag puppet. So I just thought this would be something nice to add to our kindergarten. I'm sure that Kinley is going to want to sit down and be a part of it as well. I can see Harper wanting to sit down and listen to the stories, maybe even Reagan. So again, it's just kind of adding a nice touch to our homeschool day. So the books that this guide is going through is Biscuit, Big Brown Bear, Morris the Moose, Sammy the Seal, and The Horse in Harry's Room. So I just think that will be a fun time with my younger kids. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Harper. So Harper is the next in line of doing school. Actually, I grabbed the wrong books. Hang on. So Harper is also going to be doing the Good and the Beautiful math. So this is her manipulatives. I'm excited. I think that this will help the math skills, the way that the Good and the Beautiful has it with the, well, I'm not putting that in very easily. I will do that later. Just the hands-on touch, you know, I think it really helps with math. So she also has the math book. Sorry. And then I went ahead and got her this Foundation Phonics book as well, because we are still working on reading skills. I can probably skip to the middle of this book and work with her on those areas. So I got this for her kind of to add some reinforcement. And then she is going to be doing Master Books Level 1. So it goes through, you know, like you do, it shows you exercise 1, day 11, and it shows exercise 2. So we will be going through this. And then the Master Books Level 1. So it's Language Lessons for a Living Education. Has these books that you read throughout the curriculum as well. And this one is called Charlie and the Trike and the Grand Canyon Adventure. And then this one is The Door of Salvation. And then Not Too Small at All, A Mouse Tale. So that is what Harper is going to be doing. And now moving on to Reagan. I kind of want to pause here too. We are, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. We are part of a co-op. We meet once a week. And this co-op is enrichment. So the kids learn, so elementary, or there's a preschool class, there's a kindergarten class, and then there's elementary. And they all learn art, Shakespeare, composer study, and picture study. And we have, you know, various artists and composers that we study for the year. Geography, and this upcoming year we're going to be doing Asia. And so all of the artists and composers are from, you know, that area. And I'm forgetting when I was, nature study. Okay, and then moving on to our high school and middle school classes, they have different classes from that. They have a science, they do art, they have Shakespeare, high school this year, which I will get into all that. But so that also adds to their education as well. So we do that once a week. Okay, so Reagan is also doing the Good and the Beautiful math. And then she is doing Language Lessons for a Living Education, Level 3. And then it comes with a Bible, 101 favorite Bible stories that we read through. Okay, so I'm gonna get up and get the next stack of books. Okay, so the next kid is Logan. And so I'm gonna, from Logan on up and some of my kids, some of the curriculum is about the same, so I'm gonna share that as well. So like spelling, Logan, Miley, and Jackson do an Evan Moore spelling in their level. So this is, Logan will have that, Miley and Logan will have that as well. And spelling is included in the younger kids curriculum. just in case y'all didn't know that. Okay, so Logan will be doing language lessons for a living education. Language lessons for a living education, level 6. I got that out. Okay. And then the book that corresponds with his is the 10-minute Bible journey. Sorry, not journal. Which Logan is excited about this. He was thumbing through it the other day and he was like, Mom, this looks really cool. And he is like my avid reader. He loves science. He loves reading. He does all sorts of stuff that he is super interested in and it just blows me away, honestly. So he is looking forward to some of the stuff that we are doing. So then in co-op, he is going to be doing the Adventures with Microscope class. This is one of the things that he is very excited about as well. And then the other enrichment classes that I mentioned that he will have at co-op. So he really likes to study people and times in history. And so I just get him a lot of books on stuff like that. And he journals them and takes notes and will watch a video on it. So his is more of a child-led education. So he is super interested in Albert Einstein and Benjamin Franklin and physics. So I got him books on all of those. They're in his room and Camden's taking a nap, so I didn't grab them. But he just like sits there and reads about all that stuff kind of on his own, and then he tells me about it, and then he makes these notebooks on it. It's really, I should have grabbed it to show y'all. It's really quite cool what he does. Okay, so Miley, I do want to mention Logan will also have a writing book. I did not grab his those. So Jackson, Miley, and Logan are doing writing strands. So this will be something that we do each day as well. So it's, you know, just different writing prompts and teaching about, you know, getting up to writing a paper. Okay, so then see which one. I didn't grab the book that corresponds with this. In co-op, so Miley's science, so this is where it kind of changes in co-op, is once you're in middle school, you have homework and, you know, like you have these labs that you are doing in class, and then there's reading done at home. So for middle school, they are doing Sabbath Mood Homeschool, and it is 4 guides that they will go through the year. The first one that they are doing is biology, and that goes along, you read this book, Men, Microscopes, and Living Things. And then they go through, and then there's different experiments that is done in class, but then the reading's done at home, like I said. And then the next one that they're doing is botany, and that has the book First Studies of Plant Life by George Francis. I did not grab that book. I should have, but. So that is Miley's science that is taught, you know, mostly at co-op, but also like we have to do some stuff at home as well. And then she is doing language lessons for a living education, Master Books Level 7. And the book that corresponds with that is God's Story, From the Beginning to the Promise of Return, to the Promised Return. Sorry, I'm getting fumbled over my words. So I didn't mention with Logan, he will be doing teaching textbooks math. Miley and Jackson as well will be doing teaching textbooks math. I also assign them a chapter book that they have to read. It's more just like for scheduled reading time throughout the day. I don't have them like write me a paper or anything on that. I more have them orally narrate to me, you know, what it's about. And Miley is, I actually already gave it to her. She is currently reading Anne of Green Gables. I told you all the stuff that Logan reads, and that's what he is doing at the moment. Okay, so now we are moving to high school. And so Jackson and Peyton are going to be doing the Dave Raymond's American History together. So this is, actually, I take that back. Are they doing it? So Jackson is definitely doing Dave Raymond's American History. Peyton is doing the Master Books American History. I had wanted them to do this together, but this is a video-based curriculum, which is something that how Jackson learns, and she learns more by reading. I forgot about that. So she is going to continue her Master Books American History. Jackson is going to be doing this Dave Raymond's American History video series, and there's a student book that correlates with it. I'm excited about this because I've heard great things about it. He also has other time periods in history as well that you can see on his website. I've heard great things. I cannot say firsthand But honestly, I'm interested in sitting down and watching some of these. So I think that will be really good. And like I said, Jackson really learns visually. So that's going to really help him. Okay, so Jackson is, well, I'll finish this stack. Okay, so he is also going to be doing language lessons for living education, level 9. And his book that correlates with it is Pilgrim's Progress. Now, he is also, I had decided on doing the language lessons for living education, and I ordered it. And while I think it will work good, it's also just not like super meaty. And I was talking with my friend. Jackson has a processing disorder. And so just some things, especially a lot of reading, is a little bit harder for him. So that's why we're doing the video based, and then we're going to be doing some audiobooks as well. She mentioned that IEW really helped her son, one of my friends. So I decided to go ahead and get IEW because it is a video based component to it, and it challenged her son and also like kind of helped stretch him. So I think I'm primarily going to be using this. Now, I do like having something else to use. So if it's a day where the video is just going to be too much for him, we can do the language lessons for living education. But I think primarily we will be doing the IEW. And that will work really good. So also in high school at co-op, they are doing, so this is where it's going to kind of all streamline together, because Jackson is going into the 9th grade. So my high schoolers, Jackson, Peyton, and Addison, are going to be doing the art of argument. Their science is going to be an anatomy class that actually one of the moms at co-op wrote the curriculum. And it is going along with an online component of an, I can never say the right word, an anatomage, where they are seeing virtually of certain dissections and stuff like that. I personally have not seen it yet, but I have heard that it's amazing. We're getting started like this week on our co-op work. It starts this week. So not co-op doesn't start this week. The high schoolers work starts at home this week, just so that we can get everything done throughout the year. But co-op does not start till the 2nd week in September. So, and I am filming this August 12th, just for reference. Okay, so he will be doing that anatomy class, the logic class. They are doing Shakespeare as well, which, oh, I have it right here. And this year, the high schoolers are reading The Merchant of Venice and Hamlet. And so we've got those books. He is also doing teaching textbooks for math, which I mentioned that. And then something else that I am adding to him and Peyton is we're going to be doing a woodshop class. So this is one of the things that I absolutely love about homeschooling, is catering your child's education to what they are interested in and passionate about. So he and Peyton, Peyton actually more so, she loves putting things together. And so we were talking, you know, there's a lot of projects and things that we're wanting to do here on the property. And she's like, I would love, like, she really wants to actually like build something. So the first project that we're going to be doing is building a chicken coop. So she, you know, like, we're going to follow plans and make the cuts and all of this. Nathan's going to be involved. And then this will be a woodshop credit class for both Jackson and Peyton. There's another project. We want to build like a bike shelter to cover our bikes. Right now we're just using, so in case y'all don't know this, we just moved in May onto property. We have 5 acres, and obviously there's a lot of stuff that we want to do around here and get it, you know, prepped and just building up our homestead. We do not have a garage, so our bikes, we didn't want them to get ruined. They're fairly new. So we just have them covered with tarps, and it's working. It's just not, doesn't look very nice. So that's one of the things that we want to build, is like a bike shelter. So just to kind of explain some of that. So she and Jackson will have a wood shop project, and, you know, they can receive a wood shop credit for that. Okay, then, so I believe that's all of Jackson's stuff. It is. So then moving to Peyton, she will be doing teaching textbooks for math as well. She will be having the woodshop credit, and she's doing the American history that I mentioned earlier. And then the logic class that I showed y'all, the art of argument, she will be doing that, and the Shakespeare classes at co-op as well, which is The Merchant of Venice and Hamlet. Like I said, like, they kind of all go together. So She is going to be doing something different for science. So she is not interested in the anatomy class at all, which is perfectly fine. She is going to be doing an animal husbandry class and just learning the care of certain animals and what their needs are, and then building the structure, which would go along with the woodshop credit. And then we will get that animal. So it's either going to be goats or pigs. We're not exactly sure yet. I'm letting her decide. Like, this is going to be all her, that she is going to study the animal, know the care and their needs and common ailments and all of that, and then build whatever structure, fencing that they need, and then we will get the animal, and then she will receive an animal husbandry credit for her science. Okay, so then for Addison and Peyton, their language arts, we are going to do classic literature studies. So they are going to read Treasure Island, and then it's going to go along with this guide where, you know, enrichment writing. So it has things, you know, to go along with it, what you write, comprehensive questions. And then when they are done with Treasure Island, we will do another book. So with all that said, the classes that are at co-op, I forgot presidential history. Y'all, I try to have my notes, I try to follow along, but I forgot a class at co-op. Presidential history. Miley has presidential history, and it has a lot of reading with it too. That's what made me remember. The classes at co-op have a good bit of reading and writing that go along with it, which just adds to their studies as far as like in high school receiving the credit and stuff like that. So those are the things that we have planned this year. I am super excited about just the things that the kids are going to be learning and growing in. I think it's going to be a really good year and have a pretty good solid plan. Our plan is to start our school on August 19th. That's actually the day that Taylor's college starts too. So this week I am just finishing up some things. Their notebook for the morning time, I'm getting that together. I have everything printed. I have my stacks done. I just need to put stuff in folders and hole punch. And I actually had all this in their bins. I just have to put it back because I got it out for y'all to show y'all. So anyways, I am super excited. We have tried several curriculums over the years, and I really love helping homeschool moms. So if y'all have a question, feel free to reach out. You can email me. My email is fieldsfullhouse@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram, which is fieldsfullhouse there as well. You can always leave a comment down below. I feel like especially when you're getting started homeschooling, there's so many questions. And like if you're starting a middle schooler or a high schooler, now a lot of the answers depend on what state you are in, if you are in the United States. But sometimes it can just feel like a lonely journey or that you're by yourself. And I just want to let you know that you are not by yourself. First and foremost, you have God by your side, and you are just creating an amazing experience and memories with your children. I really enjoy getting outside of the four walls and doing stuff hands-on. So we do a lot of field trips, a lot of projects. I have some handicraft projects in mind too that I am wanting to do with the kids. We used to do this a while ago too. On Fridays we called it Passion Day. And so they could do whatever they were passionate about. I have a kid who loves to crochet, so they would crochet. One who loved to paint, so they would paint. And then I think it was Miley at the time really wanted to learn how to sew. So I sat down and sewed with her and just teaching her some of those skills. And that's kind of what we were planning on doing this year as well. It's not going to be once a week because my kids are, some of them are getting older and we have a lot of studies that we have to get through too. Anyways, just giving y'all some ideas. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions or you just need encouragement. You mamas have this. God has equipped you to teach your children. So just remember that. I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we will see y'all in the next video.